Right, so this is where we were the other time. I just copied and pasted some part of the documentation of ImageKit, and then I had put it here. And I basically mentioned that I wanted us to understand how to set up our backend and the server and this whole other thing, right? Before we actually start handling our images, right? So I wanted us to understand that this thing, this particular part that we have, this part, is going to be the first part of handling the images, because it seems like quite a little bit of a long process, and I realized a lot of us are, a little bit of, yeah, or a lot of us are beginners. So why don't I take things little by little? Okay, so let's just handle the first part, and then in the next part we'll handle the in-depth or advanced way of manipulating these images to fit your project structure. Right, so yeah, let's just start. So for this one, it's asking us, as you can see here, we are basically importing image kits, right? That was the imports that we did the other time. So the image kit, what we need to do is need to make sure that we are importing, or we've installed it, right? Or else we start getting errors. So for that, I'll just cd into the back end. After splitting the terminal, I'll just cd into the back end. I can clear it so it looks more clear, and then I can just say my npmi, and then I'll hit enter. We should get our image kit. All right, so now that we have this, what we are going to do is we need to go to our dashboard on in image kit, and then we are going to get our details from there, right? So in order for us to get the API keys, especially the URL and endpoint and the other things, right, what we are going to do is when you open up your image kit and you sign in or you sign out, get to your dashboard. Over here you need to click on the developer options, and then you come here. Okay, then you can now come and copy the link. Okay, then once you copy the link, you need to go to your env. All right, you need to go to your env, and then inside your env, we are quickly going to set up a few things, right? A few variables. Now, what is the first variable? The first variable is going to be image kit endpoint. Okay, so image kit endpoint, and then we're basically going to set that to this, and then the second variable is going to be image kit, right, public key. Okay, so image kit public key. Okay, image kit public key, and then as you can see, I'm not leaving any spaces. All right, make sure you note that. So image kit public key, and then for the public key, we are going to take it from here, and then we'll paste it here. All right, and then here we'll just continue and say image kit what private key. Okay, then inside we would have to come here and then copy it. But how do we copy our private keys? You're going to be asked to enter your password whenever you try to copy it, right? So you just enter your password. In case you freshly created your account, what you're going to have to do is they'll tell you to set a password. That is if you use social logins or social sign up, right? So yeah, I have already set the password, and I've used it, so I can just copy it straight and just paste it here. All right, so it's here now. Now that we have everything all set up over here, what we are going to do is I'm going to quickly copy this first part, and then we'll go here, and then let me just bring this one to the side. So over here, what we can do is I'll just use my process .env and I'll just paste that, and then I'll copy this whole thing and then come and paste it here as well. Oh no, copy it, come and paste it here. Alright, so paste it here, and then I'll paste this one to here. Alright, then what we are going to do is you need to just go back and copy this, and then I'll hold alt, copy this one too as well, and then I'll just do my Control C, and then I'll select this one, hold alt again to select this one, and then I'll just paste. Alright, As you can see, they have all been pasted. Right, now that we have this all set up, we need to make sure that whenever we try to make a request from our front end to our back end, it allows the request. Right now, I was thinking that this was supposed to help us do that, but after I tested, I realized that I don't know, for some reason I've not really searched up on this whole thing here, but my speculation is it was just set up so we can allow requests from ImageKit. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know how true this is though. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, so something is wrong. How come I have ImageKit here? I see what is wrong. Yeah, so I'll just take this thing off, paste it here. Alright, so yeah, that was what I was thinking. So in order for us to be able to allow cross origin requests from our backend, between our backend and our front end, what we are going to have to do is we are going to have to install a package called course. Okay, so npm I course. Then while course is being installed, we just come here and then we would say const course, and then course is going to be what? Course is going to be what? It's going to be require. Then we will require course. All right. Okay, so we just required course here nicely. All right, so what we are going to do is right under this comment, because I mean the best looks good here, we just say app.use, then inside we use the origin here. So for the origin, we set that to process.env dot what, then we can set that to a client. You set that to our client URL. Right now, the reason why we are using this client URL as an env is because we want to be able to dynamically change it like anytime. Right, we want to be able to manually change it anytime without having to actually touch the code base. Right, so we can just take this, go to our env, and then we'll just come and set up this. And then yeah, so for our front end URL, what we are going to do is it's going to be http localhost 5173. Right, you can see it right around here, or I'll just show you. So it's going to be localhost 5173, and so yeah, localhost. Okay, so how did we know? You can see here, this is where we are going to be making the request from. Right, so if you deploy your application, you change it to wherever you've hosted your front-end application, so you change the client URL to that. All right, now that we understand how things are rolling here, okay, what do we want to do next? We want to now move on to the front end. Now, as you can see here in the front end, I have already created a folder here called upload. Okay, so in this folder, we are going to create this upload folder inside our components folder here. Then what we are going to do is inside this upload folder, we'll create an upload file. So I'll just say upload.jsx. okay, so inside upload.jsx, I'll just say RAFCE. all right, so RAFCE. Then what I'll do is I'll come here, right, and then we are going to copy and paste a bunch of stuff. So let's not go through that long hassle, and let's just go straight to the point by just copying all this. So from here to here, right, copy this and paste it here. Okay, so as you can see, we have a bunch of functions and stuff over here. So for this particular public key that we want to set up inside our front end, we are going to have to do it inside our env. So for our env, what we are going to do is, you can see that we already have ImageKit public key here, because we want to maintain because we want to maintain the consistency in the variable naming. We'll just copy that vit prefix, and then we just paste it here. Right, okay, now that it's here, what we are going to do is we need the public key and then we need the endpoint. Okay, so we just take this same vit prefix, right, prefix, right, and then we come up with the image kit, right? We come up with the image kit, then endpoint. So image kit endpoint. So image kit endpoint. Okay, and yeah, like I said before, make sure there are no spaces, right? Then for the endpoint, we just need to go back here, copy this bad boy, and then come and paste over here, right? All right, so now that we have this, let me quickly just copy this first one here. Okay, then I'll go to upload component here, and you know, because this is vit, so we don't have to use process. What we use is import. So we use the import statement, then we use meta.env, then we paste this, right? Right after we've been able to do this, what we are going to do is I'm just going to copy this and then paste it here. All right, and right after doing that, we need to go here and then take this variable name that we have, then replace it for the endpoint here. Okay, nicely done. All right, we are doing pretty good here. All right, so now that we've been able to set up the env for both the public key and the URL endpoint, what we have to do is you have to set up these bad boys to match our back end here. Now, as you can see, the endpoints that we are trying to fetch here, we are going to have to set it up over here. Okay, so here what we do is we just come and say so if we go to say localhost, if we go to localhost 88, like localhost 8080 straight like that, we should be able to access this. But come on, we can't just work like that or there will be chaos. All right, so let's just set up our extra routes. So we just say API v1, then we say upload, right? So whenever we go to this particular route, we should be able to handle this. Okay, so over here we just set that towards port 8080 as usual. It looks like, let me check, make sure everything is working well. It says app.use requires a middleware function. Let's check what is going on. It says app.use requires a middleware function. Where, oh no, where is it talking about? It says, okay, I'm still not seeing. Let's look through the code. So this is yeah, I forgot. So for this one, I just realized that we just set the origin without actually setting up the course package. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so it has to be like this, right? So you realize that when we come here, it should be running. Okay, so yeah, we've been able to set this up, and then we've been able to set up our routes, right? Our get route here for our image upload, right? So over here we just say localhost 8080, since that's what we are using in our port, and then we specified that the endpoint is API v1 slash upload. Okay, then now that we've been able to set this up, we should be able to manipulate our images however we want. Okay, so let's come down here. You can see that we have like a bunch of functions here that we are not using. So in order for us to be able to start using them, we are going to just screw up a bit, right? For the meantime, I'm going to screw up a bit, and then we'll just copy this context part, this one here, right? And then what we'll do here is we'll come here and then replace these bad boys with, oh come on, we'll come here and then replace these bad boys with a bracket, right? And then some empty fragments, and then we just pass in our context. We can just clean this part right here, and we are going to need to pass in a few things. Now as you can see, ImageKit allows us to get handle an on error, like in case we experience an error, helps us to handle an success, and then also helps us to handle like whenever the upload is starting, and also the progress values of like the images, like if it's uploading the progress, just like how we see in most of the popular applications, right? We're able to track all these things, right? So we need to be able to set it up over here. Now these are the only two functions that are left, so let's just say on upload progress, we set it to what, on upload progress, and then we take the on upload start, and then we set it to what, on upload start, right? Now that we have both of these bad boys out here working like how we want them to work, what are we going to do next, right? So what we are going to do is we need to make sure that each and every file name that we pass through, or each and every file that we pass through our image upload component, we want to get like a unique file name for it. So for that, we are just going to say use unique file name, right? And then we're going to set that to what, true, right? Okay, so now that we have this all working, what we are going to do is we're going to go into the new prompt component here, and then we will just clean this, and then we just pass in the upload component, right? And then after that we can test. So let me quickly expand this and then do my Control Shift I to open my inspect elements so I can check the console, and then I will just click on this. So after clicking on this, I should be able to select one random image, take one from the weekend, and you can see that this is the progress, and you can see that it is successful. You can see that we have the file path, we have the ImageKit URL here, we have the thumbnail URL, we have the URL itself, and we have the height and the width, basically the dimensions and the name. You can see that we have a whole bunch of properties that we can work with, like the progress events too, like we were able to track the progress and everything. So yeah, that is basically it for the first part of handling images using ImageKit in a React application. Hopefully in the next one we would take these images and then learn how to manipulate them and use them at the right places inside the application, right? So hopefully I'll see you in the next one.